Hi everybody, I'm back. I have my lye right here. Oh, sorry, let me zoom out here so you can see. I have the lye here ready to go. It should be about 100 degrees. Now, I've always just used a good old-fashioned candy thermometer for all the years, but I was able to get a good deal on one of these, and it's really nice. It's electronic, and there's no cleanup. You just turn it on and point it into your product. Can you see here? It's got a laser. It's actually 103 degrees, so that's good. Now, I did forget to mention to you that I use olive oil in this recipe. I don't heat it with my fats like I did in the beginning. I just measure it and put it into this trusty old container that I've used for mixing for years. I've got 20 ounces here. And then I'll add my hot oils and lye to it. Like I said earlier, I like to add a little bit of silk to some of my recipes, which I did. So I'll strain it out. I have my oils right here, all heated. My fats, I should say, proper terminology. Let me just double check the temperature on them. They can be a little over 100 because the olive oil is at room temperature. I didn't heat it, and it'll pretty much all balance out. So my oils are about 117, so, you know, I think between my room temperature olive oil and that being 117, it should be fine. It just barely melted. So I'm going to strain my lye because the silk is in here that I added. It kind of makes a mess of the lye. I'm going to give it a little stir. You can tell I'm not a pro at making videos, so sorry for all the bloopers. Let's add this to the olive oil. It's so convenient having this because for obvious reasons. Let's see what we got now with it all mixed. (102 degrees), so that's about perfect. I'm going to go ahead and strain my lye. I actually put it in the fridge, otherwise it would have taken a long time. It's best to do this in the morning and then later on, you know, do the rest of your stuff. That way you're not waiting around. But the fridge worked good. Just give it a little mix. Do the rest. One thing I forgot was my goggles. Like I said earlier, I like working at lower temperatures because it just gives you a little more time. I've ruined more batches, you know, using oils, fragrance oils that accelerated everything and seized the batch. And that gets pretty expensive these days. And so I did some investigating with some expert soap makers, and they said try lowering your temperatures, and boy, I'll tell you what, it has made a difference for me. This recipe is super fatted at 8% when you run it through a lye calculator. You can use any oils you want, but what I've found is that olive oil, palm oil, and coconut oil are your good bases. I avoid any animal products just because I don't like using animals. And but you can use pretty much any kind of oil, but run it through a lye calculator. They're free online. Brambleberry.com has a good one for your iPhone. It's on, I showed it on one of my previous tutorials. I'm going to rinse this out because of the silk is clogging it up. That's good. Now it should go quite a bit faster. Okay. Now I just like to hand stir it a little bit. I have my fragrance oil pre-measured. This is 1 ounce, but I'm going to use actually about 2.5 ounces. It's oatmeal milk and honey. It's one of my best sellers. And I'll just leave this lye in bucket in the sink, and then I can use it to put my spoon in. The olive oil I buy at Costco. I found that it's the cheapest place. You get 2 of these. I don't recall the price because it's been a while. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and use the stick blender. Now I'm going to do a column swirl, which I'll show you after we do the mixing. So I'm not going to let this get real heavy traced. So here we go. Tap it to get all the air bubbles out. I'll show you as we go. Let me try to get this down so you can see in the sink for those of you who have never made soap. You'll kind of see it going from the golden color to a white color. Don't do it in bursts so you don't burn out your stick blender. Just kind of use it to stir a little bit. Can you see that, how it's kind of going a creamy color? Get this out of the way. After I know everything's all mixed really well, I'm not even going to let it trace up too much. Can you see that? I'm sorry, it's like I said, I'm not a pro at making videos, but it does start to turn a creamy color as the oils are all mixed in. Now trace is when you can take it and drip it and trace on top of it. Like I said, I do it a very light trace, and I think I'm about there. Now I'm going to go ahead and add my fragrance oil, and this is when it can accelerate your batch. Some people like to mix their fragrance oils in with a little of the olive oil first that you hold out of your measurement. But I just like to slowly mix it by hand. It's already starting to thicken it up quite a bit. Now I'm going to go ahead and pour the rest that I need. I can tell you, floral fragrances are really hard to work with. I don't like them. I like the way they smell, but I don't like the way they react. If you're not sure, just use a small amount that you've mixed and see what happens. I'll just pour a little in another container and with a little bit of fragrance oil. Now, this part I have to work really fast, getting my colors mixed and start swirling, or I'll seize it up. It'll get too thick. Okay, that's good. That in there for now. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. I'll see, that's what it looks like. Oops, just poured some out. See, I told you I'm not an expert video maker. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get the colors mixed, and then I'll show you from there.
For you beginner soap makers, this is the point where you pour your soap mixture into your mold. Have your mold prepared, let it cure for 24 to 48 hours, then unmold it and let it cure in your room environment for another 4 to 6 weeks. Thanks a lot for watching, and I hope you enjoyed these videos for the beginner soap maker. Happy soaping!